Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Boke Olomu. I'm a cloud expert for 21st Century Technologies. Today we'll be looking at how to migrate a VM, your business critical application, from your virtual environment on-premise to your cloud environment in 21st century. Now I have created two platforms to represent my cloud environment, this, and another platform, vSphere environment, to represent my on-premise environment. So as you can see, I currently have a vSphere 6.5 environment installed with some virtual workload running on my on-premise environment. So what we're going to do is to migrate this particular VM that I've created, which is currently powered on, up and running. We'll migrate it while it is on to our cloud environment. So what we're going to have is the test VM present here while it is in the running state. Now to do this, we make use of a tool called the vCloud Extender. Now the vCloud Extender should have been installed in your vSphere environment, your on-premise environment, and this connects to the 21st century cloud environment. Now it is via this tool you are able to do a migration, whether cold or warm migration, to your cloud environment in the 21st century cloud, to your cloud platform in the 21st century cloud. So when you install the vCloud Extender, you get the plugin. So to get to the plugin, you navigate to Home, and you click on the vCloud Director Extender plugin. This gives you a GUI to manage your migrations, whether cold or warm migrations. This we'll get into later as we proceed in this video. Now, another thing you are able to do is to do a DC extension. Now, what this means is you are able to extend your on-premise network to your cloud environment, which means you are able to preserve your IP scheme addressing. You are able to use the same IP address for the VM on-premise and with the VM in the cloud. So I'm going to demonstrate this in this video, and you see how beneficial this will be. Now, first we'll do a warm migration, and before we can carry out a warm migration, we should have done the DC extension. Now, the DC extension stretches your on-premise network to your network in the cloud, enabling you, as I said earlier, to use the same IP you use for a particular VM in the cloud. So here we have a network that is already extended, that I've already stretched from on-premise, this environment, to the cloud environment here. So to start the warm migration, we must ensure the VM is powered on, because if it is not, the process will not start. So what we'll do is click on the new migration, and here you have the option of selecting whether cold migration, warm migration, or warm migration with preloaded C. But for the purpose of this demonstration, we shall be carrying out a warm migration. Now, what a warm migration does is it starts a continuous file synchronization at regular intervals with your on-premise VM. Now, what you need to do is you need to trigger a cutover. Now, we shall get to this stage and more explanation shall be made. Now, after selecting your one migration, you click on Next. Here, you are able to navigate browse to the VM you want to migrate. Here, you search for the VM in the data center. You have the option of typing a keyword to find your VM. As you can see, you have both VM and a vSwitch. Means you can migrate both a VM and also a virtual network. So we'll click on this and browse to the VM we want to migrate, which is a test VM. So as you can see, we're currently running a VM, a test VM, which is 5 GB. We want to migrate this while it is powered on to our cloud environment here. Now, for you to have gotten this platform, the control panel, to manage your virtual data center in the cloud, you must have been registered with 21st Century Cloud Services, and you will be issued a URL where you will be able to have access to this control panel. Now, in addition to the URL that will be issued, is your credential and administrator credentials. So the organization administrator also have the right to create other users in your organization that would have access to this same organization. Now, for you to understand more on the features and the functionalities of your cloud environment in this platform, you can watch my other videos on navigating the 21st century cloud environment. So, already I have a URL, a sample URL for an organization. What I need to do is copy this, and let me close this now, and we'll paste this here. So what we should have is a login page where you have to put in the administrator credentials that must have been issued by 21st Century Technologies. So I'll just do that and click on login. So you have a sample company. Now here you can do several other, change preferences as you want, create a VApp, manage your VM, and also create networking. Please try to get my other video on navigating the environment, 21st Century Cloud environment, to get more information on this platform. So let's continue with our migration. So we click on Next. Then we select the target cloud environment we want to migrate our VM to. We select the 21CTL PVDC, the virtual data center, and the storage profile, and also the network. Now you have the option of selecting if you want the VM to stay individually or the VMs that you're migrating to be in groups. Now VApp here means is a container where you can manage several VMs together. So for the purpose of this demo, we select each VM stays individually and click on Next. Now you also have the option of If you want to start your synchronization, start your migration immediately as selected, or you want a specific time. Here you can select your time and the date where you want to start the synchronization. Another option you have is to select the bits type. You can either select thin or select thick. I'll select thin for the purpose of this demo. Then another optional is you can tag your migration job. We'll give it any name, migration 1, and click on start. So what this does is it starts synchronization. Oh, sorry, I think I clicked on schedule. I'll just cancel that. Start over. One migration. Click on next. DC. VM. Scroll down to the test VM. Next. Next. Now I'll select immediately. Okay. And click on start. So now what this does is it starts to synchronize your VM, the test VM we're migrating, this VM, and create another VM. Let me close this. In your cloud environment. A similar VM migrates the VM in your cloud environment. An important thing you know to note is the vCloud extender actually powers off your on-premise VM, then turn on the test VM in the cloud environment. So it shuts this down and migrates it here and powers on the test VM. So we'll see all of this in this video as we proceed. So we go back to our migration. Go to migration, jobs. So you can see here it's running. It's already syncing with the VM. So this proceed to a cut over ready stage where we now have to start our cut over. So we'll wait for this to complete, for the syncing to complete, and we'll start our cut over. This might take a while, depending on the storage and on latency, on the size of the VM, size of the workload you're migrating, and also on the latency. Synchronizing with the VM. So what we'll do is we'll do a continuous ping of the VM. Currently, this VM is a Linux instance we'll be migrating with the IP of 10.46.46.29. We'll do a continuous ping to see how the VM is powered off and again comes up in the cloud environment. Let's go to migration jobs. Home. And you can see here you have one in transition, is this. Click on it. So now it is ready for cut over. So now before we start the cut over, let's do a continuous ping to the VM. Let's bring up my lazy web. I'm working on the vCloud direct environment. So we bring up okay. So we do a continuous ping. See that is powered up. What you get to see is at some point we start to lose connectivity, and eventually it comes up and you get a reply from the same VM in the cloud, our cloud environment. So we're ready to start cut over. So you can tag the cut over process, probably cut over 1, select the VM, and click on start. Start cut over this migration. Okay. So currently it's cutting over. So if we go home, you get to see a process in transition. I've actually done some previous migration from on-premise to the cloud, and also extended a network, this network to the cloud environment. So what you have here is a GUI that actually gives you a graphics of your migration process, the number of VMs you're migrating, networks you've extended. You could decide to extend more than a single network or subnet. It shows you process in error, networks that are connected, and you get a view, an overview of your various processes and notification also. So yeah, we can see that it's gone down, meaning it has part of the VM. It's timing out. If you check, you can see that it's currently powered down and still powered up. Okay, so we have it running here, currently running. So we're having a reply from this VM that we migrated from on-premise environment. This environment, you can see it's powered off, and we have it here powered on in our cloud environment. So basically that's how to perform a warm migration from your on-premise environment to your cloud environment. Here you have the test VM. You can decide to power on and manage the VM, whether to place in a VApp or individually, and also provide networking. So we go to administration. Go back to cloud. Okay, it's now available. And we click on open. So we get to see our VM and the network. See, we are connected to this network that we've selected. This shows you the virtual machine. And this shows you the network, the subnet for this VM. So the gateway for this VM is 192.168.3.1, but we're still able to reach it and use the same IP address, which is for the VM we have on-premise, which is 10.46.46.29, using the same gateway. So that's basically the essence of the DC extension, using the same IP for VM on-premise, the VM in the cloud. As you can see, we're still able to reach it while it's currently being off in the on-premise environment. So we have our VM here. Okay. So basically, that's how you're able to do your one migration on-premise and to your cloud environment. You could also perform a cold migration, which is migrating your vMotion, your VM, while they are off to your cloud environment. This took a total of migration jobs 17 minutes. Yeah. So thank you very much. Try to get my other videos on navigating the 21st century cloud environment and also carrying out network extension. Another thing I forgot to talk about is Providers Cloud. This is actually the fundamentals, of your migrations. You have to be able to connect to your provider cloud before you are able to perform migration or carry out DC extension. As you can see, we already have a provider cloud already connected and it's running. Okay. Okay. So this gives you some statistics about the cloud environment. Okay. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you later.